Alright, what's up guys? Welcome back for another episode, and today we're actually going to be working on the BRZ for once. I know you guys have been seeing a lot of Impreza project stuff, which is still right behind me, and you guys are still going to be seeing a lot of that because there's still a ton of stuff that I need to do on it. But today, we're going to try and get the BRZ ready for Wicked Big Meet, which is in, I think, 2 weeks from tomorrow. Yeah, 2 weeks from tomorrow. ISC Suspension, one of my sponsors, actually I'm wearing their shirt right now, is kind enough to have the BRZ and I at their booth again this year. So definitely go, I'll put a link in the description for their website. Go check out their stuff. They make awesome coilovers and control arms and a couple other accessory pieces for Subarus and for a whole bunch of other makes and models. But so today I have a couple things I want to try and do. One of them is make, I always intended on doing it previously, but never really got around to doing it, is make the air dam for the splitter that goes across the lower portion of the bumper. So I have the material, I just got hardware yesterday, so I want to try and get that done today. That's my primary goal. And then I want to try and work on getting my AC system back out again. So obviously the car originally came with AC. Once I went supercharged, I took it all out, and then I wanted it to be more of a street car, in quotations, and have AC. But, well, AC worked for a while, and then it ended up stopped working. It ended up blowing warm. So I went all around and I replaced all of the rubber O-rings for like all of these fittings, and it still didn't fix the problem. And I eventually found the leak, and it's the AC condenser. The intercooler rubbed on the top of it and created a leak. So instead of spending $100 or a couple $100 on a new condenser, I'm just going to rip everything out because I don't really drive this car that much. You guys obviously don't really see it that much on the channel. It's pretty much, I drive it on the track, and that's pretty much about it. Besides like going to an event like Wicked Big Meet or something like that. So I might as well just rip it all back out. That way I'll have a little bit extra space right here. The AC lines won't be in the way and stuff. And I'll be able to get the condenser out from under, from behind the intercooler. Just create a little bit more airflow for the intercooler and the radiator as well. So hopefully I have enough time today to do that. Or hopefully I should say I'm motivated enough to do that today. Other thing that I need to do is the part that I'm actually not excited about the most is take off this Toyo tires and the ISC suspension. You can see I already took the I and ISC off at my house. I'm not looking forward to it, but I want to peel those off. Same with this side, the two that are on the door. I want to take those off as well. I have a little bit larger ones that I want to put on in different places, and then also either today or tomorrow or maybe sometime this week, I want to do a little bit more of the livery design on the car before Wicked Big Meet, just to kind of unveil a little bit different version of what was there last year, which is identical. I haven't touched the car actually literally since Wicked Big Meet last year, so this is exactly how it came back from Wicked Big Meet. You can see even the big ISC banner on the windshield is still there from the event. So I literally haven't even touched this car. After that event, I'm pretty sure I literally just parked it and just left it how it is. So we're going to start with the air dam. At least that's what I'm calling it. I'm not exactly sure what it's called. I'm calling it the air dam. So I need to, first I'm going to clean off the splitter because it's all dirty. Now I'm going to use some painter's tape that I have and just basically put the tape on the splitter, and then I'm going to get permanent marker and just draw a line of where my bumper sits versus where the, where the air dam is going to go. And then at that point, I will take the front bumper off, which will also give me more access to the AC condenser, so killing two birds with one stone right there. And then I will start placing the air dam in the spot that I want it, basically just lined up with that line that I'm going to draw for the front bumper. And then just start marking the holes to drill the holes through the splitter. And then all I got to do is just pretty much just bolt the air dam on. All that is theory, but it should be as simple as just that. It'll take me a little bit just to make sure it fits to the bumper nice, but then after that, once I rip the condenser out, I can throw the bumper back on, and that is all set. Then we'll work on getting everything out of this area. I still have the AC delete, like the OEM Subaru AC delete piece. It's just like a idler pulley that goes right there. I still have that somewhere upstairs. So I'll just have to find that. I'll have to make sure it's actually up there. And that's it. And then after that is just play with peeling some decals off. I actually brought the new decals with me. At least, I hope. I think they're in that box. I should have probably looked at that before I brought it. And that's it. So, I'm going to get some masking tape. Well, got to clean it first. Masking tape, draw the line, we'll get the bumper off. Alright, so I just got the bumper off. And I did the tape, and then I drew the line. I kind of drew a couple different lines. But drew the line all the way across, all the way to that side. So now I need to go find the material that I'm going to use and start just like measuring how much I actually need, and just start going down the line and just lining it up. I'm not going to cut like the exact size that I need. I'll just leave it long because my luck, I'll cut it short. So one thing that I'm going to have to do also, I think after changing the caster settings, the tire actually contacts the splitter and it's not even at full lock, so that's definitely part of the rubbing that I hear. Also, it's actually contacting up here a little bit too, so that's not that good. But that's for another day. I could just clearance the splitter and then just figure out why it's hitting up top more. And then also at the same time, it also contacts back here on the fender itself. Well, that's okay. That's just fiberglass. That moves. So let me go find the material I'm going to use. I'm going to show you what I'm going to use, and then we'll start marking the holes and stuff for it. So I know a buddy of mine is going to make fun of me for it, but I am going to be using some garden edging as the piece. So this is durable, it's cheap, it's black, and it can form to whatever shape that you need. Well, pretty much any shape that you need. So I know he's going to make fun of me for it, but guess what? It works. And it's cheap. So I'm going to line this out, and what I'll probably have to do is just probably just like start using it and like line it up with here, and then probably have it in its spot, drill a hole, and just like soft, like, you know, just like hand thread the bolts in for now, and just work my way around, because it's not going to really like stay for me, so I'll probably just have to start like actually mounting it in its spot. Alright, and just like that, it's on there. So I don't know how well it's going to pick up on camera. It looks like it's coming up alright. But so, just went across the line. Don't pay attention to some of it being a little wonky, just because none of the hardware is tight. So I can straighten it out, tighten it up, and it should stay in the spot. Also, once it heats up and stuff in the sun, it'll kind of form to its own. But that's it. So I didn't grab enough hardware from work. I ran out of bolts probably about right here and over. Same with the nuts for it. I just ran out of 2 washers. Luckily I had some washers, and luckily I had the right length bolts and some nuts here. So almost had a panic attack not being able to get it on, but I did. So now I have to take it all the way back off, which everything is just hand tight, so it's not going to be that big of a deal. Take the tape off, put it back on, and then we could get the bumper on. But I have to take apart all this stuff. So I want to try and do it with the intake still on maybe, so I'll just take the filter off and I'll leave this piece on. Intercooler is I'll just undo the 2 couplers, the 2 12s, and the intercooler just like kind of drop out, and I should be able to pull it forward. Or at least just drop it down out of the way. And then there's just 4 10mm bolts that just hold the condenser on. So yeah, so you can see probably right there that contacted and made it leak. It's either that or maybe it's on the other side, I can't remember. And then it's just 2 lines, one's right here, and then the other one's below it, which is going to be a little bit more of a pain, but hopefully with the intercooler out of the way I'll be able to get it out. And if it's going to be too much of a pain, then I'll just leave it, but I'm going to try. Alright, there we go. So I just tightened it all up. Well, I got the tape off, tightened it all up, and we're looking good. I had to
This last little triangle, there was no hole for it, so I just put one of the self-tappers through it. But that's good. It's all good. I'm really happy with how it came out. You know, look, for being garden edging, it looks good. It's a little bit flexible, so if anything hits it, like, it's not hard plastic, so it's not gonna shatter, like if a rock comes up or something. And it'll flex enough just so I could get the bumper to kind of like tuck into it. So now that that's all set, I'm gonna try and work on getting that condenser out of there. We're gonna see how big of a job that's gonna be. If that condenser portion of it is gonna be a big job, then I'll just work on getting the compressor and stuff out instead. I've been kind of waiting for the engine to cool down a little bit because I just drove it for like 30 minutes. So maybe I'm still gonna work on trying to get the condenser out first, just so I can let all that cool down a little bit more. Maybe even I'll stick the fan on it, just to try and cool it down a little bit faster. And then we're just gonna keep on going. Once I get that condenser out, we can throw the bumper back on, and we'll see how that actually looks with the bumper on. Success! We got it out. And we can see right there and right there, the two spots, and of course the two corners of the intercooler. I also got those two soft lines out. One went down from the compressor down to the condenser, and then one came up and around to the evaporator. So now I just have this one hard line, which I had to cut a little piece of it out to try and get the condenser out. That comes up the frame rail and it comes up over there, so I might just have to cut it in sections in order to get it out. But this is how I managed to get the condenser out. I just had to loosen the intercooler and just let it sit, and then unbolt the four for this, and I was able to flip it. Alright, so I just got the air filter and the intercooler attached again. Looks like I really need to change that that air filter, but I decided that I'm going to leave this line that goes all the way up and around. I'm going to leave that in there for now just because there's so much stuff in the way. I honestly don't even remember how I got it out the first time. Well, got it out and then back in the first time. I have no idea how I did that. Alright, and there we go, just like that. I've got the AC delete pulley in place. Compressor's right there. And it's kind of cool that it's an actual like Subaru piece. I just replaced two bolts on it just because they were rusty. And there we go. And I got the belt back on, and now we're all good to go. It is back to being a proper AC delete. So that is where I'm going to end off this video. I'm not going to have the peeling the decals and putting the new decals on in this video just because it's kind of boring. So I'm going to leave it with that. We got the splitter little wind deflector piece on, and the AC delete is now a proper AC delete. So if you guys want to see the car come out to Wicked Big Meet, so I'll just catch you guys in the next video. Don't forget to hit subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next video. See ya.